Hi Scorpio, and welcome back. This is going to be a reading for Scorpio for the month of May 2020, the sun, moon and rising sign in Scorpio. I'd also like to say thank you very much to everyone who has subscribed and hits that like button. That's your way of giving back to the channel, and it supports the channel, so greatly appreciated. Now Scorpio, we're going to touch on something new today, and we're going to talk a little bit about a south node, your south node, and your north node. And if you're asking what is this about, they're about karma. And our south node, and 2020 is about laying new foundations, ending and beginning new karmic cycles, setting new foundations for our karmic journey, learning the lessons, the Saturn-Pluto conjunction right through to 2020. But in the month of May, there's a little karmic lesson coming up for us to complete, learn, go through, evolve through, because once this Capricorn in our south node and the Cancer in the north node hits 2 degrees, which is coming up, I think it's next month, it moves, our little karmic lessons move into Sagittarius and Gemini, which is going to be a breath of fresh air. So we're moving from this earthy energy, watery earth, so earth and water, this muddy, earthy, emotional energy to air and fire. So we're going to feel freer, more freedom in a karmic lesson. But at the moment, what's going on is a south node. Now, what's the south node? The south node is connected to your past life. It's connected to, we all have a south and a north node. And if you don't know what it is, there'll be a link below where you can get your natal chart and have a look where your nodes are. But there, we're talking about the nodes that the moon energy. So these are the transiting nodes. So what does that mean? Very connected to your past life. And your south node, is something you need to evolve through. It's more related to a wounding where you have to grow through, and it is connected to past life. Whereas your north node, and we've got Cancer sitting in there, wanting to heal and nurture and go deeper into connections. So what the north and the south node want you to do to complete like this karmic challenge, let's call it, is find a balancing point between the north and the south lesson. So if you do that, you get to evolve and move on and grow forward. So that's why I thought I'd bring it into your reading. So we'll just touch on it a little bit. But you have had this Capricorn in the south node being in this karmic lesson for the last year and a half. So this has been going on a long time for you. Now remember, Capricorn can be the energy of just get on with it, push your emotions down, suck it up, move on, move through it. It kind of puts you through the hard times or the hard tests or the hard work. So it has hit you in an area that in the third house. So, what that means for you is, and this is going on for a lot of signs, but for you in particular. So Capricorn hitting that third house in your south node, teaching you a lesson. What's the lesson here is what we should be asking. How we perceive reality. And the third house does represent like that mental energy about how you're thinking. So your mental activity. And with Scorpio, I want to say a few things here. So Scorpio, you're very connected to your emotions and the emotions of others. And, you look very deeply into someone or something. And so you must, and Capricorn's probably been bringing out those harder or harsher realities that you're looking into. So make sure the thinking doesn't get too much. okay? Because it can have you spinning in circles, as in your mind. Busyness, you know, when we keep super busy and spinning in circles, or, you know, got too many activities going on at once, or putting our energy in too many different places at once. And this has been going on for you for quite some time. So, you know, it's really looking at and giving you a hard time about your perception of reality, communicating within reality. If it was really negative and hitting you really negative, some Scorpios could be very pessimistic. Not saying you all are or that's hitting you, but, you know, that's the more shadowy side of this energy. And it could make Scorpio get a little bit more serious. And with the Capricorn, a little bit of glumness, you know, taking the joy out of life a little bit, okay? And we're up in that head spinning. So for Scorpio, you know, it would have been hitting your nervous system and really kind of, and when it does that, we can get into that erraticness within like our established routines and patterns and behaviors, because we're running on a mental energy, okay? So that has been hitting you. And the lesson is, there's a karmic lesson in it. The North Node Cancer wants, you know, calmer, more healing, more gentle, more calm, more going inward. And it is in your 9th house. So it's wanting you to learn. It's wanting you to educate yourself. It's wanting you, and the North Node's all about the collective karma. So balancing the karmic lesson with the collective karma about what you put out into the world. And so, and I think too, Scorpio, because you're such a deep, intensified, or got in your emotions, you know, remember you're sending out that frequency. So if we're mentally scattered, you know, we're sending that out. So just keep that in mind. The other thing here is, you know, Scorpio do like to look at the harsh truth, so don't get too negative in that. Because, you know, when you've been in this for a year and a half, that's getting a little joy taken out of your life somewhere, wherever it's hitting, or feeling like, so they're wanting you to do it a different way. And no more juggling too much, no more giving too much, all of that sort of thing, and learning and educating yourself to shake up these patterns of behaviors and establish new patterns to your routines. Because Scorpio, I do know a lot of Scorpio, and I have some Scorpio in my chart somewhere, but you know, Scorpio can be, it's not obvious or evident, but they can be very rigid in their routine and don't change my routine. So the karmic balance point between the South and the North Node is asking you to look at ways of adapting. Because if I look at your astrology and planets, particularly around the Scorpio full moon that you've got coming in at the 7th of May, which is hitting your 1st house. So that's you, and they're asking your life, or an area in your life that you need more balance in. But in doing that, you know, adapting a new system, okay? Adapting a new way. You've got to make the changes. The changes are about you. The 1st house is about you. So you might be looking at yourself going around the full moon, because it's endings and completions, and we're hitting this karmic South and North Node karmic balance that we have to get balanced. So, and it's a little karmic universal test to see if you can move on from it, you know, into the Sagittarius Gemini energy that'll be coming in next around those north and south nodes. So where do you work too much? Where are you needing to make changes in your work or with yourself? Now, whether it's your look or your routines, your patterns, because the start of the month is Venus. So Venus rules our money and our relationships. So Scorpio, you're going to around the Scorpio full moon, really look at that first house, the me, the I, the changes I need to make within myself with relationships, money and work and finances here. So a lot of you, after the full moon, around the 12th, we've got Mercury in your 8th house. Now, 8th house is money, paperwork, taxes, insurance. You'll be looking, going to your accountant, looking at all of that. And then the 13th and 14th, this is important because we've got Venus going retrograde until the 26th of June. So that's relationships going backwards. It can bring people of the past back in. You could be going back over the past, but retrograde doesn't bring it in exactly the same. Retrograde comes back over with a new perspective, with new information, with a new idea, with a new way of doing. And that's what it's asking you to do. So with your south and north node as well. So where do you need to change, Scorpio, and shake up these established patterns and routines of how you do, what you do, and why you do? And maybe shake up the behaviors, the patterns, because it's kind of like what in those set patterns that you've had been going on for the last year, and they've been testing you and forcing you sort of energetically to be juggling too much and too much on your nervous system here. And that's been affecting you. So, they're saying, how can we balance this up, Scorpio, and what changes do you need to make for yourself, within yourself, therefore within your relationship? So doing it a different way. So, the 13th and 14th, we've got Venus going retrograde, so going back over stuff, back into relationships, reviewing friendships. It's all about who we're connected to in relationships, how we do relationships. But also we've got it on the 13th and 14th, you've got the 5th house, which is all about fun and being creative and energy, and that joyful energy that probably hasn't been there for a long time. So I kind of love that coming in for you. And the 21st, lightening it up. And on the 21st of May, we've got the sun in the 8th house. Now, the 8th house does like to make us uncomfortable, a little uncomfortable, and it's about letting go and surrendering and learning to trust life, which is, I think, if we go back to the south and north node, shaking up your patterns, shaking up your behaviors, changing them around, you making some changes, Scorpio. It's going to be a little uncomfortable. But the 22nd, the new moon, also in Gemini, new moon in Gemini, also in your 8th house. And you're going to be looking at money and spending in and out, negative and positive, too much, too little, your values around money. So I'm seeing a big change here as you shake up those patterns and routines and behaviors, and you change. Often our values change, and what we deemed important or valuable to us is changing, and that karma's wanting you to balance your energy for your nervous system rather than juggling too much, taking on too much, or people, places or situations, whether it's in your career, your relationships, or all of it. So in that, we've got to own what you've enabled. Where have you allowed others to take too much, or vice versa, or you give too much? So where have you allowed that? So it's like you're doing this overall review by the end of the month, and you're going to have a new perspective on your reality. That's what I can see going on here. And in that, there's going to be, out of that pessimistic energy of spinning and too many circles and too much going on for a long time now, moving into my values are different, and a calmer energy and a more balanced energy in that giving and taking, and for that nervous system, and therefore like a letting go and a surrender. And then when we do that, we fall into more trust of ourselves and universe. And one of the biggest issues with the sign of Scorpio does come up a lot about trust, self-trust, trusting. It's a big issue for Scorpio. So there's a little karmic test there. And by the end of the month, you know, those of you who do your work and work through this and let this stuff come up, particularly around that Scorpio full moon in the first house, because it's going to hit right on your midpoint between your birthday. So the next half towards your birthday, it's what are you manifesting for that to come in, and what are you creating? So that's why they want you to reevaluate your values, change your routines, your patterns and your behaviors, do it differently, and start creating that towards your birthday. So that's really nice. And the new moon on the 8th, you're spending, what can you let go of? You know, what can you change there that's going to bring emotional and physical surrender? So a lot to do with that Venus energy, with money and love and relationships with you. And what jumped out was the success card. So, you know, I love that, Scorpio. What, you know, to start off a reading. So that kind of shows me that I think a lot of you have already gone through so much that you might be already seeing new perspectives, or those new perspectives have already been coming in, and it mightn't be super clear now, but you're finally seeing different sides, different perspectives of situations. And this is going to be part of what comes up in that Venus retrograde for you, the 13th and the 14th through the 26th. But you're going to get success in it. And see how they're all sitting there talking equally. You know, this card's popped out in a few readings this month because they're all listening to each other. They're all sharing their perspectives. I keep getting the word collaborating, and in a different way. And for a lot of you, there's new groups, new connections, new friendships, because as you all know, we're closing it. When our values change and we're letting go and we're surrendering, a lot starts to come in and shift, and it's actually bringing you the success that you've been looking for. That's what I like. Yeah, look at you here, reviewing everything, going over it, thinking, what can I do more? What can I do better? What can I add? Lots of ideas here around that Scorpio full moon. Going very inward. Now there it is, about me, the I in the first house. They want you to go in very deeply and connect. Not move forward yet, but you will. When this turns around, you'll put things in place slowly and practically. This is the slow card. Thinking it out, moving step by step, rather than having too much going on at once. Okay, spinning too many, when they spin that top and spin that top and spin that top and spin that top, too many things going on at once. And here's you, by the end of the month, stepping into your power, stepping into your energy. You've made some changes. Look at the abundance coming through there, Scorpio. Look at the new connection. You're connecting in a new way. This is love, romance coming in. Someone you wanting to wine you, dine you, romance you, connect on an emotional level. But some of you have not been willing on some level to pull that blindfold off and just have a look. That's kind of like she's refusing. It's temporary restriction, or she could just lift up that blindfold and have a look at a new way out, a new perspective, a new idea, but she chooses not to. She stays in some set patterns and behaviors and refuses to just move or shift or lift the blindfold or see it from a new perspective. And that could be about yourself. That doesn't have to be about others' perspectives. That could be about yourself. But by the end of the month, There's like a new way or a new connection coming in here, or a new offer. Yeah, look at this. Success, the Sun card, and justice, balance. Remember I talked about the nervous system and getting success and balance. Scorpio, you're wanting this balance in your life. I think you're sick of the roller coaster energy, okay? Which creates from the busyness and too many things on the go and too many responsibilities. See, you're like, no, I want my wish fulfillment. I want to collaborate with people, places, situations, new ideas, new perspectives, new patterns, behaviors, systems, routines, and with people who kind of share that same way of being or living or doing, groups that you're connected to. See, you've been really stuck in something, or maybe not from yourself, maybe just because of life and what's going on now. This is really stuck. I'm stuck behind a rock on a hard place, or I'm really refusing to look at it. But here, you're choosing now to review it, to have a look. Yeah, look at this. You are, by the end of that Scorpio full moon, death and rebirth, doing things very differently, okay? So wherever it's been scattered, busy, too many things on, slow, practical, steady. That's what you're death and rebirthing, basically. So you're looking about Scorpio full moon, how I can make changes. You're making the changes. You've got lots of ideas there, looking out to expand your horizon, expand your future, your perceptions, your realities, and going very inward. And the King of Swords is about being up in your head, mental energy. Third house, south node, karmic lesson. Where do you get too much up here going on? Go inward, connect, not up here. Up here is not connection. In here, quiet, still calm is connection. Yeah, there's messages, communication coming, but they're generally messages from spirit, the messages you needed for answers, okay? Anyone or anything that's not working with you or for you, or you thought they were offering or giving or connection, no, okay? You're moving away from the struggle. This is what this is all about. For some of you, there will be a message. It's like you're moving on here. You're making these changes. There's some communication here, and I feel like someone doesn't like it, or someone doesn't like the changes that you're making, that you're moving towards. Or if someone was coming in offering you love, connection, emotional, connection, someone's not liking that. So just be aware of that, Scorpio. You have been calling these changes in. Absolutely. You really have. You've wanted these changes for a while. You've been in the Hanged Man, but the Hanged Man just came in reverse, so you're getting out of it. So whatever you've felt stuck in, remember here, I feel stuck, like where I've got to, I've built and grown this great crop, money, pentacles, but I'm reviewing it. There's got to be more. I'm stuck, I'm blocked, I can't move through, so new ideas, new changes, new perspectives, new horizons, looking beyond, going inward, not mental energy, inward energy. That's the south north node, the Cancer, the inward energy. Connect to your cosmic principles here. Your cosmic principles, inward, your light, your soul. Use whatever you need, universal connection, whatever that is for you, use that. And then you'll start to adapt this more optimistic approach to anything. And I just sense this calmness coming in, and those hard times on you and your nervous system are really starting to settle down there. And you've been in that hangman position, but it's showing me you're about to move out of it, which is why you got the success card and the justice card. So that's really, really, really good. Someone's resistant. See, someone's been hanging on too tight, whether that's you, Scorpio, to a pattern, routine, behavior, belief system, perspective, reality, whatever it is for you, or someone around you. There's communication here because you've really stepped into your power here and you're really going forward. See, there's a tower moment, a new foundation. Someone's not liking it, or you're not liking these changes. Maybe some of you Scorpios are not liking these changes that are coming in. Some of you, you want them and you're moving away from anything that's, creating stress and drama and struggle because you want to connect on a deeper level. And for some of you, someone's coming in to connect on a deeper level. Someone may not like that because I can see here wherever you've been blocked, stuck, trapped, unwilling to see it. Although you've been manifesting and connecting to the cosmic cycles, talking to the universe, the Strength card coming in, the Courage card. So for some of you, there's a message here about, let's say you were single and you're waiting for a relationship to come in, or you're ready for that now, or someone's going to make an offer. And it kind of brings the belief back for you. And it kind of brings in the strength and the courage to be able to maybe finally move forward in that. For some of you, if you were in a relationship and there was not conflict, but struggle, someone working against you or not with you, or you're not on the same kind of path and you've been really resistant to look at that or face it, but you have been universally asking for that strength and courage to deal with it with a relationship. And that could be lovers, friends, groups, associations. Some of you have been, a lot of you, Scorpio, was past hurt, past struggle, past pain, past established routines and patterns and behaviors that you were really stuck in with the Hanged Man and this card and the pain and the suffering of the past lives, past stuff. But it's all upside down, so you're getting out of it. You're coming out of it. That's the Success card, the Sun card, the Justice, the balance, the karmic balance. And that South Node and North Node is asking you to find the balance point between that karmic South and North Node. For a lot of you, it's to do with relationships, which is the Venus energy, but really changing how you are in relationships. And there's your passion coming back in then, once you do that. And you are charging forward, or someone's coming into you for those of you. Definitely got action here from you, Scorpio, and from someone or a focus coming in. So Scorpio, you've got clarity and focus in a direction. For some of you who had someone coming in, they are focused, they are coming in, and they were just waiting for you to get past and heal this old pain and suffering, these old cycles that you live by and you live your rules by in relationships. It's a heart activation. It's an emotional activation for you, Scorpio. It's a bit overwhelming, but the rewards are trying to come in. So only manifest positively, not negatively. It's coming in. Yeah, that was where you were deceiving yourself there, Scorpio. Emotional communication coming in. More nurturing. There's the Mother card, the Cancer energy in the 9th house in your North Node. Collective karma. You having more nurturing. That's the softer side, the healing side, the medicine, the tonic, the North Node tonic to your South Node issue that you need to transform, move through, evolve, see from a new perspective, a higher perspective. This is on top of the mountain, looking over the town, seeing everything in a new light, with new glasses, a new reality, with new values. So we re-establish new patterns, new behaviors. It's transformation on a very high level that enables you to move forward and make decisions. So there's somewhere you've been stuck, Scorpio, and they've been waiting for you to work out how to balance your emotions, because the King of Cups upright is mastery of our emotions, mastery of our security, our stability within our emotional body. And yours has been upside down and you need a healing here. And it's about your relationships with people and having faith and trust and surrender and letting go. And that brings the abundance. And that is the nervous system. Wow, wow, wow. So where you had anxiety, depression, mental, emotional, physical, spiritual exhaustion over here, and no more passion and no more drive and no more clarity, it's coming. You're coming out of it and you're ending a karmic cycle. There it is, Scorpio. Ending a karmic cycle, and it's universal. So that'll be divine timing. There's a divine timing here, Scorpio, of a karmic cycle. That's why I had to tell you about the South and the North Node that's going on right now in the Capricorn harsh and the Cancer soft, healing, nurturing, loving, more connection, doing things a different way, doing for you, okay? All falling at the Scorpio full moon on the 7th of May in your first house about you. So, wow, Scorpio, the changes you need to make are bettering you and they're for you. And I think you're doing that on yourself personally and within your relationships. That's very interesting, Scorpio. Bit of a twisty one at the start, but it made sense in the end. So what I do want to just touch on there is a little bit of love. Let's see what's coming in for Scorpio. For the month of May, what do they need to hear about their relationships and love life and what's coming in? Reconciliation. So someone coming back in, that's third house stuff. We've got Venus in retrograde, someone from the past, someone coming back in, or you wanting to reconcile with someone, vice versa. So someone from your past is returning in your life now. Now, whether that's for you to heal something or just reconnect, or it's something more serious, it's safe for you to love now. See, once you balance this South and North Node aspect and you make these changes this month within yourself, shake up your patterns, your routines, your behaviors in a new way and learn a new way of being and doing, you know, it's safe for you to love because you can surrender and go into trust and trusting life. Because how you were doing it before for love, and you're going to bring true love in. This is reconciliation with true love, Scorpio. Allowing true love in. Letting go of control issues, patterns, behaviours, routines, the way it has to be done for you to have it or receive it or do it. They're asking for you to do it in a different way. Where have you been deceiving yourself? Where have you been creating this deception with love and in your relationships? Because once you do and you let go of these control issues and let go and surrender and trust life and trusting yourself, you're more passion comes in. Romantic feelings. So there we have it, Scorpio. And look at this, calling in your soulmate and finances and career. This is all about Venus going retrograde this month. So a lot of you are reviewing you in relationships and the patterns and routines and behaviors you do in that. And the letting go, let go and let God or, Creator, or let go and release, surrender. Yeah, you don't need these established patterns that you were using. They're actually causing you more harm. Blocking out the passion and the connection. Yeah, very soon. So for those of you who are waiting, I had to pull a couple more, I knew it. For those of you who are waiting for someone, very soon. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. And that's why we're getting clear and you're making the changes, because it's coming in. And heart-to-heart conversations. And love yourself first. That's why the first house, making changes. Being prepared for your birthday coming in and what you're creating, and new patterns, new behaviors, new established routines, and the way you do it differently. You've made the changes. You make the changes and it all kind of flows for you, Scorpio. And then we move into June, where we have eclipse season, which is huge, bringing endings and changes very fast, out of nowhere. So this work you're doing now is preparing you. It's giving you the heads up. So I love that. I love that, Scorpio. I hope this has helped you for the month of May 2020. Enjoy your full moon, Scorpio. You will feel it, and it will be ending and completing something within you, Scorpio. So I'd like to hear your comments, how you go around that Scorpio full moon, because it will either be intense or intensify you, or maybe you're just feeling super passionate, Scorpio, and ready to bring on the changes. So again, reshuffled back to the same card. First one, reconciliation. So there you go. If you've been waiting on someone or someone from your past, and it doesn't have to be a lover, but it can be, or you've just waited for something to start or go forward, it's happening, okay? It's coming back in for you to redo it differently. So hang in there, Scorpio. Thank you very much for your support. We'll see you next month. Bye.